Oh. All right. How's everybody feeling today? Good? Freezing. Yeah, I think some more people will come in, so it'll make the room a little bit warmer as we go. So thank you everybody for coming and for taking the time to come in and hear about the E3 method and showing up today. It means a lot to me. So give yourselves a big round of applause and a pat on your back. So the power of the E3 method and what it's all about. Well, who is Debbie Borger and where did this all come from? I grew up outside Philadelphia. I was a teacher. And I've been in Florida. Next week will actually be 18 years. And I've been training in Florida for about 15 years. Life was good, and I was busy with work. I was making over $100,000 as a personal trainer a year, which is amazing. And I thought everything was going great. But I'm going to share with you today just what happens when that is not exactly what's going on. So, what makes me qualified to speak about this today? Well, a lot of certifications. I have a degree in education. I started out as a teacher. I've worked with kids throughout my life at summer camps and programs, youth programs, and I've been an aquatics director where I oversaw a huge staff of lifeguards in their 20s, so that was great. Beyond the certifications, this is me. This is the real me. I am 11 years sober today. And today, no, not today, but today I'm still 11 years sober. But there was a point in my life where that was not going to be the case. See, I thought that my life was going great. And then I had a series of lifequakes, earthquakes in my life, huge earthquakes that I call my lifequakes. And in the wake of a broken engagement and a narcissistic discard while living in another country, I found myself back in the United States living in my sister's spare bedroom 2 days before Christmas with no place to live, no car, and no clients. So you're probably asking yourself, how did this successful personal trainer get to this point? Well, I thought everything was going great. And when a man asked me to marry him and move to this other country, I thought, this is it. I'm living high, right? I'm going back to Costa Rica, a place that's one of my favorite places to be, and I'm going to live my life out to the fullest, right? Not the case. I've also had a series of other traumas in my life. I lost 2 very close friends here in Jupiter, Florida, 9 years ago to a horrific murder that was very, very public. I've lost friends to overdose, and just recently, as you will receive a pink lollipop on your way out the door, I lost a very close friend of mine to brain cancer at 47, 2 weeks ago. That these life quakes that we hold in our body cause trauma and stress that we don't realize if we don't deal with them. And that is exactly what happened to me. All the traumas caught up with me, and this narcissistic discard was the straw that broke my back. My world was completely turned upside down, and what I didn't realize at the time was that my body had been in a state of fight or flight for so long that this was the straw that broke my back. Another trauma I had in my whole life was I've had back injuries. I've had back surgery, physical ailments that burdened me day after day. So when this happened and my nervous system was in a state of freeze, I knew that I had to do something about it. And I was frozen. I wouldn't wish those nights on anyone where I woke up in the middle of the night in a panic with my fists clenched and my jaw tight and my heart racing and having to take propanol just to bring my heart rate down in the middle of the night so that I could go back to sleep. It was horrific. I lost a significant amount of body weight. Everybody thought that I looked great. They thought I was in the best shape of my life. But I was the most unhealthiest that I had ever been in my entire life. And I knew I had to find a way to pull myself out of it. In those moments of upheaval, in those frozen moments, I was ready to throw in the towel on my sobriety. I was ready to go get a job bartending anywhere I could to make money so I could get a car, so I could get clients, so I could get a place to live. And it was actually my sister who encouraged me to seek a community of women that would help me remain sober. And like I said in the beginning, I am 11 years sober today. My mission became to help women to rebuild, not just any women, strong women, already strong women, to rebuild stronger. After trauma, transforming their pain into power and helping them live as the fullest expressions of themselves through the 3 pillars of fitness, nutrition, and mindset. And that was the creation of the E3 method. E3 stands for elevate your mind, elevate your body, and elevate your world. These were the 3 areas that I needed to focus on in order to rebuild my life. What is the E3 method? The E3 method are the steps that I took in order to rebuild from my 0 state to my hero state. 5 steps in the E3 system, in the method: vision, assessment, action, reassessment, and internal GPS. Not like your regular GPS. This one is inside. So let's look at the E3 method. We have our 3 pillars: elevate your mind, elevate your body, and elevate your world through fitness, nutrition, and mindset. The 5 steps: vision, assessment, action, reassessment, and IGPS. We take each of these steps through each of the 3 pillars. The first step, vision. Vision was where I really had to sit and be honest with myself. Just like I said before I left for Costa Rica, I needed to be honest with myself. I was bored with my job. I thought financially that I had hit a glass ceiling and I wasn't able to make any more money after COVID. I wasn't happy with things around me and I wasn't being very honest with myself about that. I needed to ask myself, what future am I planning for myself? But I didn't do that. And instead, the universe decided to show me itself. So I needed to look and see what my thriving state, what my hero state was going to look like. What did I want it to look like? Then I needed to assess. I needed to take a hard look at my life and see what was working and what wasn't. I was so underweight. I wasn't eating. I wasn't sleeping. I had to listen to binaural beats every night just to fall asleep and still waking up in the middle of the night. So I know that I needed to change all of the things in those pillars: the fitness, the nutrition, and the mindset. The third step, action. So this is where the magic happens. And during this step, I actually went out and I found myself a coach. That coach helped me set a goal for myself. He said, what is it you've always wanted to do with your life that you haven't done? If money were no option, if time were no option, what is it that you've always wanted to do with your life? Well, I looked at him and I said, you know, my grandmother was a public speaker. She had her own TV show, and I've always seen myself standing on stage, motivating and speaking to other women. And he looked at me and said, okay, there we go. Then let's do it. That's simple. So, okay. So we started to lay out the framework and the groundwork, those steps in order to get me there. But it was a huge mountain in front of me. I mean, it was insurmountable to me in my 0 state. How was I ever going to do that? So we broke it down step by step, small actionable steps that I would take one at a time in order to reach my goal. Now, I know that progress isn't linear, and it is definitely not a straight line for me. It never has been. The ups and downs, we have them all the time. I still suffer these life quakes. But reassessment is a step that is incredibly important because it is where you turn around and you look and say, what's working and what isn't. And you have to be brutally honest with yourself. And sometimes people don't want to do that. And that's where a coach comes in, because I'm going to tell you what you don't want to hear or what no one else is telling you. The fifth step is what I call iGPS. It is your inner guidance system. So let's just all take a break for a second and picture yourselves sitting in your car when you leave here. I want you to close your eyes. And you're sitting in the driver's seat of your car. In front of you is the windshield. It's huge. You're looking forward. You've put your destination into your GPS. Your hands are on the steering wheel. Your foot is on the brake because we're not going anywhere yet. And I am sitting next to you in the passenger seat. You know where you want to go. The rear view mirror is up there, very small. Looking in the rear view mirror, you can see the past and where you've come from. But that windshield is huge, and that windshield shows you where you're going. As you start to take the journey towards your destination, there's going to be a tree that falls in the road, and you're going to have to swerve to get around it. But what is going to guarantee, or who is going to guarantee, that you get back on that road to your destination? You can open your eyes. Your internal GPS is following your North Star, your thriving state, the goal that you set for yourself. And I, as your coach, am there with you in the passenger seat every step of the way to help you navigate all of those life quakes that are going to continue to come into your road and your journey and help you navigate around them. The E3 method isn't just a one and done. It is a continuous cycle of transformation. I continue to use it to this day. I start with my vision. What is it that I want to do? Let's assess it. How am I going to get there? What steps am I going to take? The action, actually doing it. And this is where most people get stuck. How many of us have plans in our head right now that we have not executed for whatever? Oh, I am sure more hands can come on. Be honest with yourselves, seriously. Yes, a lot of us. The assessment, the iGPS. Who is this for? This is for anyone. People ask me all the time, do you work with men? Yes, I work with men. Do you work with young women? Yes, I work with young women. This is for the millennials, the young adults who are just getting started out in life after college or after high school. They don't want to listen to their moms because they don't know anything, right? So moms come in and they hire me to work with their daughters as a mentor and a coach to help them through fitness, nutrition, and mindset. Elevate your mind, elevate your body, elevate your world, to keep them focused on the goal that they set for themselves. This is for women in transition, divorce, loss, burnout, reinvention. I have women coming up to me all the time telling me, I've always wanted to do this, I've always wanted to do that, but I just don't have the motivation to do it. This is for those navigating midlife and perimenopause. I mean, let's talk about fitness and nutrition, right? This is when we need it the most. Anyone craving balance in mind, body, and world. All of these things need to cohesively work together in order for you to live your best life and thrive. And any woman who's ready to transform pain into purpose. And I think that if you're being honest with yourself, every woman in this room and man in this room can think of a time when they may have needed someone like me or some program like this to help them navigate through. What you get working with me in the E3 method are daily Power Pulse check-ins. I'm going to ask you 3 things that you're grateful for every day. I'm going to ask you to create an I am statement that you need to repeat to yourself. I am strong. I am worthy. I am successful. Personalized fitness and nutrition plans. We're going to take a hard look at what you're doing on a daily basis to move your body, your sleep, your nutrition, your movement, all of it. You're going to get the 60-minute, once a week, one-on-one with me, virtual or in person, coaching sessions, ongoing mindset and emotional resilience coaching, and text support between sessions, progress check-ins and adjustments. This is a full program. This isn't just a one and done, go in, work out, leave, and go on your way. This is everything together. Your challenge tonight, the first step, is going to be vision. I want you to go home, and before you go to bed, I want you to ask yourself, if I were living in my hero state, what would that look like? What future do I want to create for myself? This isn't anybody else's dream. This isn't anybody else's life. This is your life. This is your chance. Believe me, I did it. I'm doing it. I'm living proof right now. I said I wanted to speak on stage and speak to women and men. This is what I'm doing right now. So I am proof that this is possible. Thank you. If I was living in my hero state right now, and 1 year from now, what would it look like? I want you to write it down because that is your North Star. That is your dream, that is your goal, and that is what we are going to work towards together. From stuck to unstoppable, the E3 method puts you back in charge of your well-being. And I have to laugh about this picture because when I was in Toastmasters, they told me that I needed a picture of Wonder Woman or Superwoman up there. And I said, I don't need a picture of any other woman but myself because I am Wonder Woman. I am Superwoman. And I did this. And so can all of you. If you're ready to elevate, go ahead and scan the barcode, or we can talk afterwards. I have some papers outside that you can grab on your way out with that pink lollipop in honor of my friend Morgan, who passed away 2 weeks ago to brain cancer. And I'm available at my booth, my table all day today, if you'd like to stop by and talk a little bit more in private. But I thank you all so much for coming in here today. And does anybody have any questions?
I have a quick one.
Yes.
Your slide, you said do what matter consistently was like small actions. It was gratitude in the morning.
Yes.
The other two?
Well, I don't want to give them all away,
Okay.
but we can start with 3 things you're grateful for, an I am statement, and my next one is always wins, a win for the day. So every night, my friend Dawn and I text each other 3 wins for the day, and then 3 wins that we want for the next day. And that keeps us finishing our day on top in a positive attitude, forward thinking to the next day and what we want to accomplish. And it really does kind of make you feel at the end of the day like I'm going out on top. I can lay my head on the pillow every night and know that these 3 things I won and succeeded in today. Thank you.
Oh, Debbie, generally how long does it take, like if we get that clarity of our mind and our mission, to start seeing some like real results, like to change your life around?
Thank you for asking that. In all honesty, it is a 3-month program for a reason. It took me 3 months to fix my nervous system, to set my goals, and to start really seeing that the promises, the things that I set for myself were coming true. Anytime you're doing any kind of physical transformation, it takes about 3 months to see results. They're not overnight. So the main program is a 3-month program, 12 sessions. But I also have a 6-week power program for anyone who wants to try it out for 6 weeks instead. Any other questions?
Debbie, I have one more question.
Yes.
Because I love nutrition. how do you work with the nutrition? Does it require like us bringing in our blood work or stuff like that, or you just, yes, how do you do the nutrition part?
So I've created a nutrition questionnaire that everyone fills out. It's on my website. I can give you you can see me at my booth. I can give you the password for that on the website in order to fill out the nutrition questionnaire. And then we go through the nutrition questionnaire together. It's a pretty in-depth questionnaire. And then we go from there. If you have hormonal blood work or you're curious about that, I can speak to you on that as well. And I partner with a nurse practitioner who is also out in the room as well. And then she can take it from there, because obviously I'm not a nurse practitioner, but I do set you up for that. Anyone else? Yes.
Where do you take in-person appointments?
I am in Juneau, so we can go to a private location. We can go to the beach at a table. We can, wherever you feel comfortable. I can come to your home. We can, you can come to my home. Whatever makes you feel comfortable with privacy. Anyone else? No? Okay. Who's ready to elevate your mind, elevate your body, elevate your world? Everybody. Thank you. Okay, I was getting kicked off anyway. So grab your lollipop and a paper on the table when you leave.